Today we're going to be doing an install. If you haven't been here before, welcome to No Winning, and a very small install here. We're going to be replacing some of the crush washers from the IAG oil return feed, no, not return, feed lines. I had to kind of move them around a little bit and adjust some things whenever I was installing the ones on the Silver STI. I'm also going to replace the bracket that goes near it, and then I'm going to rearrange the way that the lines are oriented. It's kind of weird because what it tends to do is there's not a lot of spacing, and the crush washer and the lines go really close to that back banjo bolt. I'll show you when we get over there. I'm going to move the table, probably move the engine a little bit closer to the light so you can see. I'm trying to make sure that I position it correctly so that I don't have to ever take it off ever again, because this is probably like the third or fourth time I've taken them off and put them on, and I want to make sure that it's set now for ever, or not necessarily forever, until maybe we get a bigger turbo in the future, which I highly doubt. But in case we do, I want it to be ready by then. So I'm going to move some things around, and then I don't have to open anything because you can see the crush washers right here. I also took some notes on how they get oriented, because I know there's thin crush washers and thick crush washers. Wrote them all down before so that I can make sure I show you properly. This is actually going to be the third time we've installed IAG oil feed lines over the last year. So we've uninstalled, reinstalled, and installed again. So yeah, you already know. Let me get started over here. All right, as you can see here, this is kind of the orientation that I want it to be in. I know it looks a little funky, but this is probably going to be the best way that we can get it organized, just so that we can make sure that there's no future problems. So I'm going to remove this hose. I just had it kind of hanging out down here. This is already loose. This is one of the brackets that we're going to be replacing. The reason I need this bracket is because this last little bolt here holds a heat shield that we're going to be putting back on the car, and I want to make sure that it doesn't loosen up or wiggle or make rattling noises, because for a while this car was making some weird rattling noises. This other bolt here, which I'll take off right now, you can see it's just kind of got eaten away, broken away. So we have the new replacement bracket for that, and this is what it looks like here. Same positioning, except that now it's actually connected. And yeah, I think most of these are already kind of loosened up. I did figure out, after putting this on and taking it off multiple times, a 15 millimeter wrench would make it easy to rotate these little pieces here. I'm not going to replace all the gaskets or all the crush washers, because, like, for example, this side over here is perfectly fine, so I'm not going to really mess with it. The crush washer up here is perfectly fine. I'm not going to really mess with it. The biggest one that I want to get to is the one that's here on this banjo bolt. And the reason for that is because I've taken it off and put it on multiple times, and I know that it may not be as effective as it should be, brand new. And I mean, it's a cheap replacement. It's like a $10 for the kit. I actually bought two of them because I don't want to be dealing with problems in the future. So I'm going to, most of this stuff is already loosened up because of the reason that I knew I was going to be working on this pretty soon. So I wanted to make sure that I kind of had everything ready to go. But like I said, this is the orientation that I want to do because of the way the bracketing system is going to fit, the coolant line is going to fit. And I kind of figured this out the hard way. So this is a 17 millimeter bolt. I just use a ratcheting wrench because that's probably going to be the easiest way to get it off, and then we'll start replacing the gaskets. So there we go. So we'll go over the crush washers. I keep saying gaskets, I think. Yeah, we'll go over the crush washers to figure out how exactly everything's going to get positioned, and then go from there. This stainless steel braided line is a good idea. I wish this banjo bolt kind of would have come out a little bit further, but I understand the reasoning for it, because you can tell that there's not a lot of space here with the turbo in the way. I think the last time I installed this, the turbo was out, which made things a little bit easier, but it is kind of a pain in the ass, honestly. Okay, before we continue, thick crush washer here, thin crush washer there, right? I'm also going to tighten this piece up here extremely tight in the angle and the position that I want it to be in. so that we can be done with it. As you can tell, I've already kind of ate it up a little bit. So let me stop here and clean my hands and let me clean this up. All right, I already re-tightened up this one here, and now it leaves just these two loose, which we're gonna position accordingly here, right? So let me get the gaskets, crush washers. Can't seem to stop saying it. So remember, it was one thick on the inside and one thin on the outside. Thin, right? And then we're gonna place this, right? I think I'd already positioned it like this, right? Kind of tighten this, just kind of hand snug, blah, 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 blah. We have the only one thick crush washer there, right? And then we're gonna position it. I'm probably just gonna just put it a little snug. Like I said, I haven't put it something like this right here. Wiggle this just a little bit and tighten accordingly. Usually the biggest worry is this piece right here. That's usually the one that's been causing me the issues. So let me tighten that first. I learned all of this through extreme trial and error. The last time I didn't show on camera, but now that I have open availability, I'm gonna tighten this a little bit here and watch me struggle for a few seconds or minutes. Depends on how much donut fast forwards is for me. Yeah, don't try this at home, or maybe try it at home. Maybe you can do it better than I can. Maybe I should put more than half a thread on there. Okay, let's see if we can twist it this way. No. There's a little more twisting than I wanted. Yep, it's on there. That one ain't going nowhere. Dang, those birds. If y'all got ideas to get rid of some birds humanely before somebody tries attacking me on YouTube. See, this is the problem here, is this T. Now you're seeing what I'm facing, right? And I have to kind of do it at an angle. Last time I was leaking oil, it was landing on the up pipe. It was causing smoke. I don't want to do that again because it looked like I felt like my car was gonna be on fire. Doesn't feel like it's gonna go anywhere else. So now I'm just gonna tighten this last one, and that one, like I said, it was a 17 millimeter. I put this a little tighter than I usually put stuff, but only because I don't want to deal with no oil leaks. So that's all we gotta do today. We'll put this bracket back on, put the hose back on. All right, now that I made sure everything is like on there, everything is finally secured, we're gonna mount the bracket, properly mount the bracket this time. Again, with this nice shiny one. I think I had ordered two, but I don't know what happened to the other one, and I've already lost it. So now we just gotta deal with this one. Okay, there's that one. There's this one. And they're both 14 millimeters. Hold it in place just until we can get the car back in the engine. Wow. Listen to what I just said. The car back in the engine. Can you believe that? Okay. And then we'll just run this hose back here. Run the clip and we are done. Alrighty, that is the end of the video. Also went just as smooth, or not smooth, or kind of smooth as I anticipated, but we are moving along. Finally, we are moving forward to getting this car on the road eventually. The next video you might expect to see probably the preparation to remove the transmission, like the drive shaft, the CV shafts, what else? The cross members, and then from there, what we're probably gonna end up doing is we bought a kit to mount on our jack to see if we can use it as like a transmission jack, so we wouldn't have to buy a transmission jack. So you might see that as kind of part of an assembly, and then by then we should be able to get the transmission out, and then maybe one more video to take it apart, put it back together, and then a few more videos to reassemble everything all over again. So like I said, I expect to have this car on the road hopefully by the end of the month for me, maybe 2 months for you. I don't know, we'll see. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching. See you next time.